Hello, everybody. I'm sure you know me already. I don't need to introduce myself. So this is going to be a little more of a serious one, or more so than like other people's like discussing things. This is about my programming career so far and the struggles I've been through regarding mental health and specifically imposter syndrome when, on my journey through here. So previously, I told you guys that I started programming at 15. Yeah, I lied about that. I did the math. I've been programming since I was 12 or 13-ish. And there were kind of different stages to this. So we had years 1 to 2, years 3 to 4, year 5, and 6 to 7. I'm on year 8 right now. And it's a great year because you guys are awesome, so thank you. This is an awesome quote I found while doing this. I was just looking up images and saw that. First step to getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you are. That is very important because if you don't realize that you want to change and you don't decide that you want to change, you're never going to change. Nothing's going to change, nothing's going to get better. You have to make that step. Years 1 and 2, this is the fun time where you're really exploring it, you're learning things for the first time. So I started programming because I wanted to make Minecraft mods, because who doesn't want to improve their video games? And then from there, I kind of went into server plugins a little bit just to play around with them. I got into web development because there was a course at Union for web design, and I applied to it because why not? I wanted to try it. So I learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but I hate JavaScript, so I stopped that very quickly. So most of my knowledge is in Java. I went to game dev a little bit just to see what it was like. I programmed a few small games in Java, just played around with them. Never released them to the public because I never finished the project, basically. So then on to years 3 and 4 is when I first got to publicly use my skills. Before then, I was just teaching myself in my free time at home. I joined Ubotics, the Union Robotics Club. I loved it a lot, but I was only one of 3 programmers on the programming team at Ubotics, and we had a mentor. For the life of me, I can't remember his name right now, but he was an awesome person, and he was a legit, true-to-life programmer, the first one I had ever met, and it terrified me. He was awesome and amazing, and I just wasn't that. And I thought, because I'm not that, I am not a programmer. And that's when the imposter syndrome really hit, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel about it, and I just felt like at some point they would discover that I'm really not as awesome as I seemed to them previously, especially my peers on the rest of the programming team. Because I was considered the more advanced of them because I had been programming for a few years and most of them had just started. But this real programmer showed up to mentor us and showed us a whole new world of programming that none of us had seen before. So I thought I was going to be shown as a fraud. And I was scared of that. So despite Ubotics being one of my favorite things that I ever did, I really, really, really enjoyed Ubotics. I still have my shirts. I have a shirt signed by Steve Wozniak because I got to meet Steve Wozniak doing it. I love Ubotics, but those years were dampened by the fact that I could not accept that I still had improvement and that I could not accept that there are always going to be people better than me. And just because there's someone better than me doesn't mean that I am not skilled in my craft, essentially. So years 5 and 6 is kind of, as I described, it's the decline. Because of all this stress and mental burden that I suddenly had because of the imposter syndrome from the previous 2 years, my mental health declined very rapidly. I started to not participate in anything. I stopped doing Ubotics because I felt like I couldn't contribute enough. That my last year in Ubotics, I was promoted to the programming lead. I was the lead programmer there, and I couldn't handle that. I was tasked with making sure that everyone learned how to program properly. I was tasked to make sure the robot was able to function. And come 3rd year, I I'd stopped. I couldn't handle it. I didn't want to deal with that. Um, and it blended into my school life as well. My grades just started dropping very, very rapidly because I had lost my passion for essentially everything. I didn't put any effort into anything. Eventually, I ended up deciding that I didn't want to go into programming as a career because I had gotten too afraid of losing it because it was the thing that I loved so much. I was afraid of losing it. I didn't want to go into it as a career, realize I didn't like it as much as I thought I did, and then be stuck in nowhere. So I stopped pursuing it as a career and decided I wanted to go into just general IT. So I went to college for that, and then proceeded to drop out of college for the same reasons as high school. My mental health just was so low that I couldn't get myself to do the things I needed to do. And by the end of that, I had stopped programming completely. I wasn't even working on small little projects just to spend time. I hadn't programmed for a full year, pretty much. I hadn't even worked on anything tiny. Year 7. This was kind of where it started to come back together, and this is mostly due to the people around me. I don't really know exactly when it started, but at some point, I had gathered friends around me who knew what I was going through. I got a job as a technician, which was a serious boost in confidence. But then at the same time, the imposter syndrome hit again, and I felt like I didn't deserve that job because I had no experience compared to people around me. I was the youngest one on that position, but I loved it so much. So it both helped and hindered, but like I said, I had friends and a support system built around me at this point, and they helped me get out of that rut, and I started thinking about programming again. And right as soon as I started thinking about it as a career again, Holberton showed up in the news. It's like, hey, yo, we're a thing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. But the main importance here is the support system. So I had my friends, mostly. One of them isn't a friend, one of them is just inspiration. So I had someone named Oak. I have never met her in person. She's an online friend. She's an artist, and she is my muse. She is my inspiration. She is the reason that I am where I am today. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have got up the courage to do what I did, because she built herself up as an artist. She's living almost full-time as an artist right now because she pursued her passion, and she didn't give up on that. And that's something I couldn't comprehend at the time. I have a community that I'm part of called the Dreamy Team. It's a huge group of creators and people with passion that they all go through the same struggles as me, and I didn't realize there were so many people like that. So joining on to the Dreamy Team, it opened me up to this world. Like, there's a lot of people, a lot more people than I thought, who have gone through these same struggles and know what it's like. And that realization alone helped immensely. It helped me realize that I'm not alone in my struggles. Then I have a friend named Sadie. She was with me throughout 2018, 2019, and she is my bungee cord, as I explained here. She is my mental bungee cord. Anytime I fell down, she brought me right back up. She knew exactly how to cheer me up. She was the very best friend I've ever had. She listens. She knows me better than I do, and that's the reason she was such a help, because I don't understand myself half the time. And the fact that she knew me means she knew how to help when I couldn't help myself. And then there was Cave Town. Cave Town is my favorite musical artist. I actually discovered them right after year 3, I think, is when I discovered them. And they're probably the only reason I never felt so far that I just shut everyone out. Their music kind of kept me moving, even if at a sluggish pace. So that was something very important, because if you hit rock bottom, it's a lot harder to get out. I was just above rock bottom because of Cave Town. So what you should take out of this, know that you're not alone. Everyone who ever pursues a passion or something that they really, really want to do or something they find interesting goes through the same struggles, albeit slightly differently because their situations are different. Oak has a saying, she says all the time, comparison is the thief of happiness. Don't compare yourself to someone who you think is higher up than you. They've gone through probably a lot more than you have because they've been doing it for longer, almost certainly. And also people start from different points in life. It's not an accurate comparison, it's not one-to-one. You're comparing like your 2 years of experience to their 10 years of experience. That's not gonna equal out. You gotta realize that. If you love it, pursue it. That's all there is to it. If you don't pursue it, you're gonna regret it. Very importantly, don't ignore words of encouragement. Yeah, they're your friends, but they're not required to be nice to you. They're nice to you because they want to be nice to you. So their words of encouragement are genuine. They're not just saying it because they're your friends. They're saying it because they believe in you. So you gotta realize that. So some things you can do to help with this. Just talk to someone. Find someone you can talk to. It's really hard to talk about it, but talking about it helps more than you can imagine. You have to learn to treat yourself better, not even just mentally, but like getting the proper sleep, eating correctly, making big changes in your life like that will help your mental health more than you might think. In the past year, I've improved like those parts of my life more than I ever have in the 20 years I've been alive. Find someone else who has a dream. For me, that was Oak. She has a dream, she's chasing it, and that is inspiration, and it means more to me than I could have ever thought it would have been. Words. When you find someone with a dream, you know that you have someone nearby that can relate to how you feel. And take breaks, know when to take breaks. You can't keep going for 2 years straight and not take a break. You will get burnt out, and burnout is the worst possible thing when it comes to passion. If you don't have passion, you cannot pursue it, and if you burn out, you lose your passion. So remember to take breaks. That's pretty much all that is. Sorry it was so long.